Before you start.
It's okay. We can have the question. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Have you recently watched the two movies?
I haven't. I actually thought about watching them last night. The last
See,
time
I watched both of them last night.
Oh, then you're ready. I was gonna rewatch them, but episode 2 such a pile of monkey shit. I couldn't bring myself to do it. So let's go ahead and get started. Hello, and you're tuning in to Young Geek versus Old Geek. I'm James Cope. I'm the Old Geek.
I'm Maverick. I'm the Young Geek.
And this is the Watchmen to make sure that we keep time and don't go over. Today's topic on Young Geek vs. Old Geek, which is not the title yet, we'll work that out later, is which is a worse movie, Star Wars Episode 1 or Star Wars Episode 2? This is not to say that one of these movies is good. It's to say which one is not the worst. So, Maverick, you won the coin toss, so you're going to go first. Coin toss? Yeah. I will be defending Episode 1 is actually a better film than Episode 2. While not good, it is a better film. And Maverick, you will be?
I'll be defending Episode 2 because it's a decent film. Start out by saying that if we look at reviews, number 2 takes the cake. Phantom Menace is known as the worst Star Wars film due to reviews. Also, it's the most irrelevant. The only relevant point it has is Obi-Wan losing Qui-Gon and then Anakin being introduced. But when you look at number 2, the fact that it introduces Count Dooku, someone who's very important and makes Anakin start to lose it in Episode 3 where he kills him, is like, oh snap, that's, And then also, if Count Dooku wasn't a thing, General Grievous wouldn't be a thing, and that Grievous and Obi-Wan fight is the best. Also has more relevance because it shows Anakin kind of denying the ways of the Jedi, right? He starts using his Force whatever. He starts doing it for non-essential needs. Also, he falls in love with Padme, which is again build up to Luke and Leia, because if they didn't fall in love, there's no rest of the series. Also, it shows his anger when his mom dies, and then if we get 1 minute, it shows his anger build up because his mom died. And then also just Episode 1 alone is just the worst, and it's super cringy. First, you got Jar Jar, he's insufferable. Then you have Little Annie, who is almost just as insufferable. Also, you have really cringy lines like, this is pod racing. Also, the fact that a 9-year-old was able to pilot, oh shoot, I feel bad. I don't know what the ships are called. He was able to pilot that and just so happened to accidentally blow up the droid center. Like, that's not cool. Like, that's not a thing. Also, the CPO jokes where he's naked is so dumb. And Qui-Gon's cool. I'll give you that. And the fact that Obi-Wan was able to beat Darth Maul just doesn't work. The fact that he killed Qui-Gon, a trained Jedi, and then just this apprentice just literally just jumps up and cuts him in half, like, no, like, it was butter. Like, that's not... Oh.
First off, if we're talking about movies, we can break it up into several different things. What lives on past these movies? One, we've got John Williams' score, The Duel of Fates at the end, not to mention the lightsaber battle, but The Duel of Fates has been used in other movies. And John Williams, who has a long history of writing amazing scores, this is some of his best work as far as conducting music for any movie. We also have the Duel of Fates lightsaber fight at the end, which has some of the greatest moments in the prequel trilogy period. Episode 2 doesn't work at all. It's beyond boring. I would rather watch 2 hours of Jar Jar and a 9-year-old who doesn't know how to act versus the mannequin Skywalker and Padme's love scenes, which made me asexual. They were so bad, I thought about never having love again, because if this is what love is, I don't want to do it. We do get Clone Wars right at the end, and we do get Count Dooku, who's the scariest man to ever ride a space scooter. He's got a little fucking space scooter he flies away on at the end. It's like, my God, you of all the cool ships in Star Wars, they were like, let's get a little basket in the front so he could have his groceries and pills in there. It's fucking horrible. We get introduced to the Boba Fett archetype. What is it, Jango Fett? Who does nothing. He does nothing. He's supposed to go kill a Padme. He sends somebody else. He can't be bothered to do it. He's too busy making fucking clones of himself. He wants a clone kid, goes into battle. Obi-Wan shows up at the place. He shoots at him and runs away. It's nothing happens. Two could disappear from the earth and we wouldn't even notice. That's how pointless episode 2 is. Episode 1, it's a fucking horrible movie. But I'll say this. The first minute of the pod racing was very nice, and the last lightsaber battle was amazing. All right, it's time. Okay, let's so we've both made our arguments for which movie was not as terrible as the other movie, and now we'll be doing sort of a counterpoint. Young Geek, go ahead and start.
So I would just like to say that Jango Fett wasn't pointless, because without Jango Fett, there are no clones. And let's be real, Clone Wars, great TV show.
It was better than
Revenge
episode
of the
2.
Sith. Episode 3 was sick. Without the clones, there's no Order 66. And let's be real, Order 66 was awesome, as sad as it was. Also, the Gungan fight in number 1 was probably the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life, because they had like catapults and bow and arrows that did minimal damage. Like they have like the giant blue balls that they put on the catapult, and when it hit one of the vehicles, it made a dent. But it's like, I've seen dents worse when I drop my phone. Like, and then the fact that they won the war because a 9-year-old destroyed a thing in outer space, like, just makes it so much worse, because the king at the end was like praised for it and he did nothing. Their people did nothing.
Is episode 1 flawed? Yeah, it's a great big pile of monkey shit. But when we're talking about monkey shit, there's a difference between like monkey shit and episode 2. Episode 2 doesn't even deserve to get called monkey shit. That's how pointless it is. I was trying to think of like things I liked from episode 2. Nothing comes to mind. I think there's this. They have a Coliseum fight, and Padme,
that was sick.
Padme gets her like clothes ripped, which seemed like more like exploitation, but that was kind of it. Yoda fighting at the end. I guess that's fun to watch a CGI Yoda flip through the air battling. That was kind of exciting. But what it took to get there was just too painful. But when I think back of like great moments of the trilogy, and I know you said that episode 3 was wonderful. I don't know if episode 3 was really wonderful or if we watched episode 2 before we saw episode 3. So like anything would have been good. I remember episode 1 and 2 because I saw them in the theater, being of the correct age to see movies in the theater. I don't think were born yet, right? You were still thinking about being a human. And episode 1, funny story, I didn't have enough money to see episode 1, so I went and I sold my plasma so that I could buy a ticket. So I literally bled to see that movie. So only if you ever get to that point in your geekdom can you really debate on a topic, I feel.
I would just like to say that episode 2 does show Anakin and Padme's cringy relationship. However, you do have to take into account Anakin knows what he's doing is wrong, and I feel like that would add some tension, and that probably adds some of the awkwardness because they know this can't happen, and they're like, well, we need to do it. And then I feel like once at the gladiator fight, when she kisses him and she's like, it's okay, and then they get normal, they become like a normal relationship.
And during the Duel of Fates, Darth Maul lightsaber battle scene, they get stuck in those little space separators that leads to the reactor. And we get to see the 3 warriors of this thing and how they would act if they were locked alone. Darth Maul paces, waiting to kill. Qui-Gon kneels and meditates. and Obi-Wan Kenobi stands there not knowing what to do because he's too new yet to even know what is his position in this. And I would actually say that is a great moment of character storytelling. We get to see this is who these people are, and this is what they represent.
Anakin's mom was impregnated through the Force, right?
Yeah, he's space Jesus.
Also, Obi-Wan does look like Jesus, which is always a plus. And I feel like the introduction to the clones was really, really good. And then Count Dooku is cool. Mace Windu's lightsaber opened up the idea to having more than just 3 colored lightsabers. That I like Episode 2 more. Granted, I didn't go see these movies in the theater. However, I feel like Episode 2 definitely just made a bigger impact on the Star Wars timeline and like story. So I feel like not only is it a better film, it's just more important.
Movies. I could watch scenes from these movies, but I don't think I could watch either of them. But if I'm going to watch any scene, it would be more from Star Wars Episode 1 than Star Wars Episode 2. And that's an old geek. Tell us in the comments down below, which of us do you think is right? Is Star Wars Episode 1 a better film, or Star Wars Episode 2 a better film? And we will review your comments. Until next time, Maverick, good debate.
Thank you. I've ever finished Return of the Jedi. I dislike that movie.
Really?
Yeah, and I feel really awful saying that because I know it's like really liked, but like I enjoyed A New Hope. I loved Empire Strikes Back, and then when I saw Episode 6, I really liked the beginning. I liked the whole Jabba scene, and then I just have no memory of anything that happened up until the Ewoks to the end.
Oh man, the space battle up at the top. It's a trap. You got Admiral Akbar. They fly in to take out. This Death Star is fully operational.
So I actually enjoyed The Last Jedi, not as a Star Wars film, but just as a movie in general.
That's fair. Get out.